Are you pleased with the strides Canadian musical theatre has taken in your lifetime? Yes and no. I think we started going in the right direction when suddenly our Canada Council, the Performing Arts, or whoever heads this kind of thinking in Ottawa, made a decision that Canadians had no culture in their lives, and they didn't have enough intelligence to select what they would like to see on the stage. So they decided to dismiss all commercial theater, all musical theater, as trite, everything that went along with it, and it suddenly became, we had to either have experimental theater, ballet, and opera, which all have a marvelous scheme in the thing, but doesn't please everybody. And I think they really made nitwits out of the Canadian public by saying, you don't know anything, we're the ones that know the kind of culture you should have in your life, and this is what you're going to get. And suddenly the plays, a person could write a play which was a miserable, sad dialogue in a sewer between two people, and it was supposed to be meaningful in our lives. Or there would be a horrendous car crash, and the whole dialogue or the whole play would take place at the scene of the accident. Somebody is dying, and they reiterate their entire lives over this. And we just took a giant step back, I think, where other countries, such as the United States and England, who have had a theatrical culture for much longer than we have, accepted the fact that, and especially in England, that the variety theater, the circus, the ice show, the opera, the ballet, the play, the light comedy, the farce, no matter what it was, that was all theater, and made tremendous scope for a performer. So that, and I realized this so much when I went to do a show with a very fine actor, John Mills. I had only seen him in very heavy drama, marvelous character parts, brilliant, brilliant actor, and he's done films and stage shows. And we were doing a musical, and I suddenly decided that he had to do a dance in it. And I said, well, you have to do a dance, and I hope you know that it's not going to be a problem for you. And he says, you want me to dance? And he did a fabulous tap step in a corner. And I said, where did you learn to dance like that? He said, I grew up in variety. That's where all my tricks are from. That's where my timing comes from, variety. That's where I learned it. He said, no matter what I do in a film, and he played that in Ryan's Daughter. He played that incredible cripple, you know, won an acting performance, for which I think he got an Academy Award. But out of his variety timing came that skill. You know, and that's where the whole scene. Now you've worked with people in this country, and they come into it, and you say, okay, I want you to do a Shuffle Off to Buffalo, or a Fall Off the Log, or a Razzmatazz Exit, which may be totally just a broad term to say the kind of feeling you want. You know what I mean? And they haven't a clue what you're talking about. Not a clue. That was vulgar theater back a few years. Suddenly, when the money got short, the government and Canada Council all took a great big switch and said, you got to go out and make money for yourself. Why don't you do shows that have commercial appeal? We'll help you, we'll help finance your tour, we'll invest money in it now. If you do something that pleases the public, why don't you get into musicals? Why don't you do, you know, everything was a big push. But we lost 15, 20 years, and in between we lost that time. The time that I was plugging ahead and doing the kind of thing that I felt we were heading for. Now it's great that I went through that whole period where I was, well, of course, he only does musical theater. Yes, well, of course. I suppose you're going to use all those terrible spotlights. You know, I've had actors say that to me. And I said, look, that is the theater. You know, that's the kind of thing we're doing right now. And I said, just go into the theater, because whether my shows are the absolute most brilliant shows or in between, I've done both. You know, things that I'm terribly proud of and things in between. But I guarantee that that theater has always had people in the seats, and it's always been full. And they're there, and they walk out of the theater, and they have enjoyed themselves. And what more purpose can I have in the theater?